These are the Nash Siren R3 Plus alarms, an alarm that I've been using for the last 6 months or so, and I'm going to run you through everything on how to use them and why I love them so much. So let's get into it. So here are the alarms. As you can see, they are very similar to the original and very, very popular R3 alarms. However, these have been stepped up a gear by adding a few more features to make them even more user-friendly. So they kept things really simple on these alarms. You've got two buttons. You've got the on button, which is on the left-hand side of the alarm, and you've got the function button, which is on the right. So to turn the alarm on, simply hold down the on button. You get an audible tone and a flash of the lights to let you know that the alarm's been turned on. And then a single press of the function button will run you through the 4 volume settings. So you've got, that's its lowest, and then that's it at its highest. So really simple to adjust the volume setting, and once you've got the volume set to your preference, if you do want to mute the alarm, a single press of the on button will do that for you, and then another single press will unmute it. The alarms come with 3 sensitivity modes. The standard sensitivity mode is the highest sensitivity mode, so any small movements will give you indication on the alarm, and you'll know that you're on that setting by hearing 3 audible beeps by holding down the function button. Those 3 beeps there will tell you that you're in that mode. The next 2 modes are speed sensing, so if I press the button again and hold that down, you get 2 beeps. So what this means is that you're in a speed sensing high sensitivity mode, and essentially that means that any slow movement of the roller wheel won't cause the alarm to make an audible noise. So if you've got any undertow or you've got weed drifting through your swim, as that bobbin slowly picks up, your alarm won't make a sound. But as soon as you do get a bite or any sudden movement or faster movement, the alarm will sound as normal. When we then change it into the speed sensing low sensitivity mode, you hear 1 beep, and that is exactly the same thing. However, this is for when you're in those serious situations when you've got a lot of chop, a lot of undertow, and you really need to control and eliminate those false bleeps on your alarm. That's the setting you need to be in. Another couple of cool features that you can control on the R3 Plus alarms is the tone and the LED colours. So what we're going to look at first is tone. So I'm going to hold down the power button and then single press the function button, and that will go through the different tones. Then to change the colour of the LEDs, we're going to hold down the function button and single press the on button. So you've got blue, purple, white, red, green, and back to blue. As with all siren alarms, they are compatible with the Nash illuminated indicators via this bayonet fitting just here. However, I don't use them personally, so I'm using the adapters that allow me to use my own bobbins, which allows you to attach them directly to the alarms themselves, which I think is a neat little feature because it allows you to remove the bobbins when you're packing them away. Not only can you remove the bobbins from the alarms when packing them away, but I've also got a spare pair of the adapters so I can chop and change between bobbins without having to unscrew them completely from the alarms. The last function to mention on the alarms is the night glow function, and to do that, simply hold down the on button and the function button for 2 seconds simultaneously. And I already had them on, so you'll hear a decrease in tone pitch of 2 beeps to turn them off, and then if I press it again, you'll hear 2 beeps again with an increase in tone pitch. Super simple. But probably most important is that these alarms have been so reliable. I've been using them extensively over the last 6 months, like I mentioned, and between these and the receiver, I've not had a single issue whatsoever. And whilst I've got the receiver here, we'll go through how to use this as well, because it's equally as easy to use as the alarms. So like I mentioned, the receiver is super simple to use. You've got 4 buttons, and I'm going to run you through what each of those do now. So the button on the left-hand side is the on button, so press and hold that. That'll turn the receiver on, super simple. On the opposite side, you've got the volume control. Again, like the alarms, you've got 4 volume settings, so the quietest all the way up to the highest volume. We'll put that back down there for now. The button on the bottom left changes the mode of the receiver, so a press and hold of that will run through the 4 settings. So there we've got vibrate and a flash of the LED. We've then got just a flash of the LED, then a flash of the LED, vibrate and an audible tone, and then a flash of the LED and an audible tone. So whatever suits your needs, you've got the options there. The receiver also has an anti-theft system in there as well, so a press and hold of this button here will change the anti-theft system off and I press it and hold it again, and that's back on. So if someone was trying to steal your alarms and they turned them off to try and not make any noise, then the receiver would make quite a loud tone to tell you that your alarms are being taken away. And I'll give you a little example. We'll turn this off. You get quite a loud, horrible sound on there. And we're just going to press and hold the A button to turn that off. Hopefully I've not annoyed anyone. Now in the vast majority of situations, I won't be using that function just because most of the time I'll be packing away, turn the alarm off and I'll hear this in the background, and it's not ideal, but it's a really handy feature to have for those situations where you're in a bit more of a sketchy situation and you just want to know that your kit's nice and safe. So there we go, that's pretty much everything I need to say about the Siren R3 Plus alarms. I absolutely love them and I can't recommend them enough. Now, one final thing to mention is that you can buy them as a single alarm head and the receiver separately, but you can also get them in 2, 3 and 4 rod presentation sets.